naghisgot ka doon nga this is a bookshop in support of Visayan-based writers, right? Unya, this is the first of its kind in Cebu. Why do you think we don't have that much support? Why aren't there more bookshops like Lost Books? Ngano ka tanaw nimo doon?
There were, I believe that there were many actually before. There were a lot of independent bookshops focusing on Visayan writers that came before Lost Books. But unfortunately, they all closed down. And I think why we need more support or we don't have that much support, it's because it's so inaccessible to get or access books that are written by Visayan writers. Before Lost Books, what we know is that there are only 3 ways to go about finding these books. Number 1, if you know the writers themselves. So once they publish a book, you can buy directly from them a copy of their book. Second is you belong to a writers group. There are many writers group here, and as a collectively they publish books once or twice a year. And if you're not part of that writers group, the chances of knowing that these books exist are very minimal. Lastly, you go to a certain university, like University of San Carlos or UP, University of the Philippines. But if you don't go to these universities or institutions, you don't really know these books, right? So, and also, I would say a fourth of that. So there is, now as I can recall it, there is number 4, there's a fourth way of accessing the book, which is in private hands or in private institutions, but they come out very expensive. So our vision for Lost Books is that it is a place that anyone, regardless of your social status, you can afford these books, and these books are accessible. Like you can just come in, pick up a Cebuano classic, and learn about our history and culture.
Of course, these are books, like you said, written by Visayan authors. I think one of the ways in which a book becomes accessible is not only the physical book being sold widely, it's also the language being used to write the book is also accessible. Unya, paminaw ko, kanang binisaya ba? Murag medyo, ako, isuway man ko basa og binisaya. In fact, ang akong binisaya, I've been trying for the past year now, and I think I'm getting a little bit better at it. Pero kulang gyapon og practice ba. Akong pangutana siguro is this. Tungod sa siguro nga imong mga libro or kan mga Visayan artists, they normally write in Binisaya. Most sa siguro nga inaccessible sa siguro.
Deep Bisaya. Yeah. To be honest, there was this wonderful poem I was reading, written by Butch Bandilio.
Okay.
Considered to be the father of modern Cebuano poetry.
Okay.
And there was this really beautiful poem with a beautiful imagery, and if I can recall, the line was "Sid sa banag-banag."
What does that mean?
Right. So.
Sid sa banat-banat?
Banag-banag.
Banag-banag. What's a banag-banag?
So, beautifully, like when I read it, it's like so beautiful. And of course, I don't know because it's very deep Cebuano. So I have to ask my parents what it means.
Okay.
So, banag-banag means dawn.
Dawn.
Right?
Okay.
So at the break of dawn.
Okay.
So, picture your mind as the break of dawn. You know, as the dawn breaks through, right? And it leaves with it a trail of about pink or purple hues of clouds. I don't know if you can picture it. That it resembles like a skirt.
A skirt?
A skirt.
Like a woman's skirt?
Yes.
Okay.
Sid is actually hem.
Yeah, okay.
So that point, so it describes Sid sa banag-banag.
Okay.
So the hem of the skirt of the dawn. And that is so beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Like when you really picture it.
It's only beautiful if you understand it, right?
Exactly.
So, unsaon man nato pag more accessible. It has to be
Yes.
more people can understand the language, right? So I don't think it's being taught in school these days unless it's a kind of elective. So
I think it should be a required reading
Okay.
at this point, right? And also, I think also to your point, one thing I think we can also make it accessible is to fall in love again with our language,
Yeah.
which is not very. School definitely has a place, has a pivotal role to play to make that a reality for us. So, yes, that
You
is
know-
a problem, and I hope that slowly by concerted effort, we can make a significant change.
Because of the internet, there's there's a murag, onslaught of globalism, ba? Like everybody's consuming content about the world. Everybody
Yes,
is
bitaw.
in tuned or attuned to what's happening with the world.
Yes.
So everybody's looking outward. So this is a kind of inward
Yes.
looking at ourselves,
Yeah.
looking at our language, ang atong mga
Ah.
pinulungan sa kinaraan, di ba?
Yeah.
So that looks like a monumental task.
It is a monumental task. And I had this thought bitaw. Nagthink ko ba like the trend right now, especially with nations with strong democracy like the US or the UK, all that. Do you notice it? That there is a growing sentiment of being closed down. I mean, there are a lot of issues when it comes to immigration.
Like a kind of nationalism, right?
Yes. And they're starting to close down, and that sentiment is growing daily. It has even reached the latest I know in Japan. It's getting stronger in
Yeah.
Japan as well
Yeah,
to close
yeah.
off the border.
Yeah.
So I was got really thinking, right? Because here, kita, globalization and Filipinos love to travel, love to work actually in other different countries. So I hope it doesn't happen. But if that trend continues, how sad would that be if we are going to close down, but we don't even know who we are. Like we don't know we don't have a independent. I mean, we have an independent thought, but most of the people are so detached from it. Ba, I go kasad. I think muratag mabuang siguro ta. Because if the world closes down, kinsa ta? Like we rely so much, we consume so much of the outside.
Yeah.
Unsay mahitabo nato.
Yeah.
So I think hopefully it doesn't happen. But if it happens or not, it's a win-win situation if we get to learn and appreciate our local literature. Why? It's because if that happens, if it's closed down, we have original content, original stories that we can still consume and we still appreciate and love. But if it doesn't happen, these stories we can share to the world. Because kung ano man good, murag, ang tendency is, since we consume so much of what is outside, eventually, there will be a fatigue of it. Na murag mawala na, kabaw naman tayo na storya. But we have so many local literature, local culture, local myth and folklores na pwede nato ma-share sa lain na nasod. Because we eventually, moabot siguro ang time na kita ang naay kuan ba, treasure of untapped stories na pwede i-share.
The search for identity, I think, is an ongoing process, right? It is a work in progress.
And lifelong.
A lifelong.
I think.
In fact, the point of it is not even the finding of the identity. It's just the process of trying to be ever so close to
my
that
gosh.
thing called identity, right? And
Sakto.
then naabot ana nga topic Don, because kani magong books good. These are thoughts, ideas that are immortalized in a book. So we can look back at what our forefathers were thinking about. We can look back at how we are thinking about now
Yes.
in more contemporary books now. So we have a kind of sneak peek at how we are as a people. Unya ikaw mismo naghisgot ka nga naa kay top 10 favorite books, di ba?
Yes.
So Don,
These are all biased, I would say.
sige lang. This is your personal top 10
Yeah.
favorite books at Lost Books.
Yeah, at Lost Books
Sige.
currently. Yeah, it changes every time.
Let's
It changes
start
every time.
breaking it down.
Sige. So, I didn't know until I opened a bookshop and I've been talking to local historians and also local writers that we have 3 Cebuano classics in our literature. And these are the 3 I have here. Let me start with them. So, first is Without a Brother or Walay Igsuon in Bisaya. And it is by Juan Villagonzalo. It is written in 1912, and Juan Villagonzalo is a staunch supporter, of course, a staunch advocate for local language. He essentially became the very first Cebuano novelist. During the American period, he wrote this book. And this is also our very first Cebuano novel ever written. Yes, that is it. Next is
This is the first Cebuano classic, right?
So next classic is the Abdo sa Kagulanan.
Abdo sa Kagulanan. Abdo is
liver.
Liver, right?
Yes, Abdo sa Kagulanan. So
is this a novel too?
It is a novel,
Okay.
and when it says Abdo sa Kagulanan, Kagulanan is
Sadness, right?
Sadness,
Okay.
right? So that kind of sadness that goes way deep down
Into the liver.
like to the liver, that is so visceral and full of I don't know.
What is this? What is this? Is this a love story? Is this a?
It is a. They are the central of the story is the star-crossed lover.
So
you
kind
would
of Romeo
say
and Juliet, right?
Romeo and Juliet, kind of thing. So
Okay.
this is it.
Number
Next is Felicitas. This
Okay.
is also another classic of ours. And
Oldarico alveola.
yes,
Sounds like a body part, alveola.
Actually,
Oh.
one of the descendants of the writer reached out to us.
Okay.
She saw our post about this book in her social media, and she reached out to us and said, "That is my great grandfather."
Wow.
So.
What is it about? What's this book about?
So this is a story about a female. So the central of the story is a female character who defies all the expectation of society for her.
So when was this written? What year was this written?
I believe this was written in the 1970s, if
Wow.
I'm not mistaken.
So living in a very conservative nation and then living in a world where, living in a country wherein the women's roles are quite conservative, right?
Yeah, 1966.
This must have been like a really rebellious book at that time, right?
Exactly, and also very ahead of its time.
Written by a man.
Oldarico,
Oh.
yes, Alveola.
Wow, very interesting. Next,
Yes, I would like to tell you about this book. It's called Libulan.
Libulan.
This is the first part, and we recently we published this year. No, they published. We released it. They released it last year. The second part of this. So this is a anthology, a collection of poems and short stories about the lived experience of our of the queer community here in Cebu, which is they have so many stories that we need to champion them because there's so many people, especially those people who are not very open to because it's still a very taboo. I mean, it's out there, right? But the acceptance part of it, it's still not very widely talked about. And the struggle,
even now,
of the struggle of the people who's just really not open because of society and what their family is expecting of them. So this is a very important piece of literature, I believe.
We've reached the top 4.
Right.
Six more to go.
Yes. I love this. So Omar Khalid, if you don't know, he is a 6-time Palanca awardee.
Okay.
This is 11 short stories about he champions the plight of the ordinary Cebuano people. And
Dinhi sa yuta, maingon
maingon
sa
sa
langit.
langit.
Isn't this a kind of prayer? Is it part of a
Yeah,
prayer?
it is just a title,
Okay.
right? But you would say it is it encompasses all the story, the 11 stories in that simple line. Because this is the ama namin, right? The
Our
our
Father. Yeah, yeah,
right? And in that short line, I think he brilliantly encapsulated all the 11 stories. So I love that.
So it is
He
all of his books, all of his stories.
Yes, all of his stories. 11
Anthology,
stories.
11
Although
stories.
he has published so many books,
Okay.
this is the latest one that he released.
Okay.
He is, I would say, our modern Martin Abellana,
Oh.
which we come to Martin Abellana, our next book. So Martin Abellana, he really champions the lived experience of the ordinary Cebuano people at his time. He is he's part of the Ludabi. There are the sorry, no, not Ludabi. Let me just confirm if it's really Ludabi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now we're now in the next 5 favorite books of Donald, the man behind Lost Books. What is that? What is
Yes.
the next
So,
5?
As I've said,
Oh.
Omar Khalid is our modern version, is our modern Martin Abellana.
I noticed
So
that
speaking
Omar
of-
Khalid is not a very local name. Is he?
It is.
From Cebu? Like, is he a Cebuano?
He is actually from the Visayas region.
Okay.
He is now based in Cebu, actually in Bugo.
Okay.
He is staying
Bogo,
in Bugo.
of all
Yes,
places. Wow.
Yes, right.
Okay, he must have really nice stories there, especially what happened
With
recently.
recently,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So, Martin Abellana. So he is one of the great thinkers of the Cebuano language.
Great thinkers.
Yes.
Okay. Like a
so
kind of philosopher.
He is
Okay.
is part of the Ludabi group.
Okay.
So Ludabi was a group of Cebuano writers, and their aim was to promote Cebuano language,
Okay.
culture, and also music.
Oh wow.
Right. So Martin Abellana is one of those. Is part of that group. He is very influential. It's because he was the first who published works about, again, the experience of the ordinary Cebuano people, right? Be careful. The Cebuano people. So he has captured that so well.
If you don't mind me asking you, because this is the second time you mentioned the ordinary Cebuano. What does
Yes.
that even mean? Like, what does he talk about? Does he talk about people like you and me who are very ordinary people? Like, what do you mean by ordinary?
So the silent majority,
Okay.
the one who doesn't, the one who doesn't like put himself out there, just trying to live his life, you know, just trying to commute to work, very patient, very hopeful, but also doesn't really make a fuss about it. It's just really trying to live his life.
Is this like a
ordinary
fictional
people.
book?
No,
Or?
it is not a fictional
Oh,
book.
okay.
And this is his book of essays about all
The ordinary
the
Cebuano.
ordinary
Okay.
Cebuano.
Martin-
Sentido común means
Common sense, right?
Yes.
And Martin Abellana is not related to the painter, or is he?
Uh,
Maybe related, right?
I'm sure. Probably related
This is
to the painter.
one letter away from Martino Abellana,
Yeah.
a celebrated painter.
Yes, exactly.
There must be something about the Abellanas, right?
Actually, when I went to the Cebuano Study Center and I saw a Freeman from the 1920s, it was so interesting because the headline was that si Martin Abellana iyang gihagit og pinusilay I can't remember the other one, one of the writers as well, because
Okay.
before they are, you know, they put themselves out there,
Yeah.
right? And you know, like duel is
Yeah,
very
duel, like a
fun.
duel,
Yeah,
like a
sige,
country western,
magpinusilay
right?
ta, na kind of thing. So
Okay.
that would have been a very interesting time to live in.
Okay, so what's the next one?
Um,
Top 10 favorite books of Donald
yes.
here. We're already approaching the last few.
Okay, let me just talk about this. Tigmo.
Tigmo is a
Do you
riddle, right?
remember
Like a
the
riddle,
time?
right?
Yes. kato magsigig pag brown out sa Cebu.
Okay.
There was a time I was really very young.
Oh,
Sig brown out sa Cebu.
okay.
So magtigmo ra.
Ah.
Kung dili gani magbuwan-buwan og patintero, magtigmo.
Magtigmo-tigmo.
So magtigmo-tigmo. So mag-guess
Okay.
unsa man yan tigmo. So I love this book so much. So this is from the Cebuano Study Center. 100 tigmo na kanang gikuan nila,
Compile
gi-compile
nila.
Yes, exactly. This is a very interesting
Wow.
book. I love that so much.
Next.
Right. So, let me tell you about this. This is a recently published book by the cartoonist
Okay.
Joshua Cabrera. It's called Jimsky, ug ang tanghaga sa balay sa agta. This is the first of the 4 books in a series. This talks about the legend of the Agta, and as told by the as told through the journey of Jimsky. What I love about this is it's very rooted in modern Cebu. Like ato mga streets sa Colon is there.
So mga references niya.
Yes,
Are accurate?
exactly.
Okay.
Even sorry, I in his time, I can't recall, but I know I heard of the expression mamords.
Mamords, yeah. Yeah. Like a kind of virgin, right?
Yes,
Mamords, right?
exactly.
Like perfect.
Yes, exactly.
untouched.
So that's the one thing na it's he brilliantly captures the nuances, the kuan of his time ba, ni Joshua Cabrera, and it's such a beautifully illustrated. He is a celebrated cartoonist.
Okay, next.
Right. Let me tell you about this. It is Dagaton
Oh, our friend.
by Joanna Michelin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about that book.
I am very biased
Okay.
when it comes to these next books. It's because it's right up my alley.
Okay.
I really love reading essays,
Mhm.
book of essays, and what I love about this book is that aside from she is a great friend of mine and one of our co-founders here at Lost Books Cebu, it's because you get to really peel the layers of what it means to be around water. And every time, I mean, we are surrounded by water, right? But the lived experience of the people, especially writers like Michelle, around water is she amazingly captured that. And I wish all of us can be as good as a writer as Michelle, and how she's able to convey that, the memories that are being woven being around water. So I love that so much.
And finally, rounding up the top 10.
Yeah, House of Memory, of course, by none other than the National Artist for Literature, Dr. Rizal B. Mojares. This is one of the most sought after books here in Lost Books Cebu. Unfortunately, we only have one copy and we cannot sell it. It's only for reading, right? But if you want to, he has written a lot of books, Dr. Rizal Mojares, but this is one book that you should have in your collection. Unfortunately, this is out of print. We are still hoping that
What is this? Is this
a collection of essays
fictional?
of being
Okay.
of nonfiction, of being a Cebuano and also a Filipino.
Wow, okay. A collection of essays about what it is to be a Cebuano or a Filipino.
Yes,
By Rizal B.
exactly.
Mojares.
Yeah, Rizal Mojares.
Unfortunately, you can't buy this yet, but you can make your reservations and drop by.
No, there's not even a reservation
read it
because it's
then.
out of print.
Oh.
Right? So we're still hopefully, that you're going to reprint this.
Okay. So those are the top 10 favorite books of
Yeah.
Donald. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Donald.
Yes, of course.